I am 3 pounds heavier. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I will be sharing an honest 1 week health journey update. If you don't know what I'm talking about when I say health journey, I highly recommend pausing this video, clicking the link in the description to episode 1 of From Flabby to Abby, and you can get filled in. But today we are on episode 2. I really want to use my channel to be like as raw and as honest as possible about my journey, and so that's why we're here. So I have been on a health journey for a week now, and I've mentioned before that this health journey is not just a weight loss journey. I am trying to revamp like all aspects of my life. I want to rebuild confidence and trust in myself. Obviously I want to look better, I want to lose weight, that kind of thing, but it's not the only thing, and it took me a really long time to realize that. So I am going to insert all of the footage that I've collected over the past week, and then we're gonna come back here and talk about it. So here we go. Okay, so today is I guess officially day 1 of this journey, and the start of me finally keeping my promises to myself, just overall leading a healthier life, mentally, physically, all of that. So today I started with a Medjool date. I've been having one of those every morning as my pre-workout snack. It's good carbs and fiber. And then I have my pre-workout. It's kind of a ritual for me. I really like it. I watch some YouTube videos. They get me super motivated because that's the kind of life I want to live, and it gets me wanting to get up off the couch and get moving. But I haven't exercised the past 2 days, and I feel like when I skip more than 1 day, it's really hard to get back into it, and it does really affect my mental health. So I guess I wanted to say that this is my day 1 of my whole journey, but now I'm at the point where I don't really struggle with exercise. I pretty much exercise almost every single day. I take the rest when I need to take the rest. Sometimes on the rest days I will do stretches or literally whatever my body wants. It's definitely diet, so that's going to be very interesting today to see how it goes. I found myself making a lot of excuses during my workout today, and I'm not happy about it. I don't want to be that person. I don't want to fall off the progress that I've made with exercise and stuff like that, and I do really like my program, so hopefully my attitude will change. It's also my period this week, so everybody knows how your hormones, they just get to you and they kind of change you as a person, so trying to fight through that this week as well. But yeah, day 1, let's go. Alright, so I have a couple minutes while I'm finishing getting ready. I thought I would just do my little update. It's day 3 of phase 1. A lot has happened already. So I decided to do this in phases because I thought that would just be a lot more sustainable. Obviously, if you've watched the previous videos, you'll know my backstory and the struggles I have with all or nothing and binge and restrict cycles. So we're not gonna let that one happen this time. We genuinely want a sustainable lifetime change and improvement, so I'm doing this in phases. Honestly, I haven't decided how long each phase is even going to be. I think just kind of when I'm feeling it's the right time to move on and make a new improvement. I feel it's so overwhelming if you try to do it all at once. You cut out all bad foods, you're exercising like crazy, you're drinking so much water, you have to pee 50,000 times a day. You're just focused on so many things that you're pretty much bound to fail. If you're one of the people that can just decide one day to completely change, kudos to you. I'm not that person, and I honestly think that a lot of other people are not that person as well. So I'm taking it in phases. Phase 1, I guess I'm doing 2 things. I am really prioritizing my water intake. So it's like 11 now and I just finished a liter, like a sip. I have like a liter of water. And then I'm gonna fill up my big like 2.2 liter jug and finish that by the rest of the day. So that's 3.2 liters. It's supposed to be like half your body weight in ounces or something like that. No, something like that. But I know I did the calculation, it was 3.2, so this is perfect. So I'm doing that. I've been trying it out for like a little while, so I don't have to pee like 800 times a day, just like 500 times. But the other big change that I've made is I got rid of my entire junk food stash, and that was a challenge for me. I'll be completely honest, I kind of used it as an excuse to binge a little bit. Like I had this huge junk food stash. Right when like quarantine started, I went out with Chris and we bought so much junk and candy because I honestly thought I wasn't gonna be able to go to a grocery store for like at least 2 weeks. Again, that was 2 months ago before this all really happened. And so we stocked up and I've just been like slowly burning through that, sometimes like buying new stuff. It's here all the time, and even if I wasn't eating it, I was just thinking about it like all day. I made the very hard for me decision to not have it around anymore. There are a couple things that I do still have that like don't make me feel guilty and don't make me feel like I'm putting a whole bunch of like poison in my body that doesn't make me feel like absolute garbage when I wake up in the morning and try to work out. So that's like one of my motivations for doing this. So I got rid of all of my candy and now I'm left with, I think I have like some popcorn, I have these paleo puffs that I really like, Smart Sweets have been great, dark chocolate. Yeah, so that's the only real change I'm trying to make right now. I'm trying so hard not to do too much at once. I don't plan to never eat junk food ever again. I just think that it's been a really toxic situation for me to have it at home because literally all I think about. This week I'm on my period. PMS started last week, which is when I wanted everything really badly. So it's just not a good idea for me. And it's really hard for me to accept that because I always think like, no, I have to have it here because then I'm restricting. I'm not restricting, and I've noticed like the past 2 nights already, since today's day 3, the past 2 nights I've wanted it so badly and it's not here, so I can't have it. Obviously it's working. I'm not even too stressed about it. Like I'm not like sweating and freaking out because I don't have stuff, because I have like some alternatives. So great tip is like to find alternatives that you actually like. Like don't force yourself to eat stuff that you don't like. I am like improving my diet as well. I'm gonna add more like fruit and vegetables and making sure I'm getting like healthy fats and good protein and stuff like that, but not thinking too much about it. I'm not tracking calories right now. I'm not thinking too much about it. I'm not cutting anything out. I'm not cutting carbs or anything like that. Just simply we're limiting my access to junk foods and just trying to feel better overall. Ignore the hair. I just have a hair mask in. So today is day 5. Today is also day 3 of the Chloe Ting 2-week shred challenge. I don't know if I mentioned or not that I was doing that for a different video. I just figured it'd be like a nice challenge to kind of kick this off. So I did day 3 today and like I'm feeling really good, and I really need to focus on remembering that because it's so easy to look at your body and be like, why haven't you changed in 3 days? And then you just want to give up. Obviously we're not going to do that. I have much different priorities this time around, and that's why it's so important to have priorities other than looking good. But I just watched back some of the footage that I recorded of my like first day of working out, like for that video. And it's really, really hard to watch. It's like especially because I know that I'm gonna be sharing it like for anybody to see. That's really a lot. It's like, do you ever feel like I almost have like reverse like body dysmorphia, where like in my head I look so different than I actually look, and I'm so much like thinner and leaner and things like that, like in my head. And so when I watch stuff like this, it sucks. Watching myself like I'm struggling in this video, and it's just embarrassing. I really want to show this journey, because I feel like so often you just see like, you get the final video. Usually you just get the like, this is what I look like before, this is what I look like after, and you don't really get to see the struggle. And man, like, it's a struggle. So I really want to be that person for someone. I want you to see like, I don't know, it's not even been that hard for me. I've actually been doing okay. Like, I only made very small changes this week. I'm gonna make some more small changes next week, and I'm really taking it easy, and I think that's making a huge difference. And like I said, I'm trying to focus on the fact that I genuinely like feel good, like mentally, physically, my body's feeling good, and I feel like I'm doing something really good. But it's like so hard sometimes when you're reminded, and that when things don't happen like right away, it's like super discouraging. But I'm gonna push through, and just watching myself like that is like really eye-opening. And if anything, I guess it's just motivation. So yeah. I went out to pick up a couple of like essentials from like Shoppers and Sobeys, and Chris had a couple of beers with his coworkers at like an online Zoom call happy hour tonight, and so he was feeling good. So we're walking around the aisles, and neither of us really controlled ourselves, I guess. Like, we both just like grabbed whatever we wanted, like we normally would, without thinking about it, and we brought it home, and we had a couple of pieces of some of the candy that we haven't tried before, that was new to us, and then we had dinner, and now it's 11 o'clock at night, and we haven't touched anything. Like, I have absolutely no desire. I feel full from the like whole day. I'm feeling good. Like, I'm just not interested in it. So the intention of the candy was for tomorrow. Usually on Saturdays we have like full movie days. We alternate like a movie for Chris, a movie for me, for like the entire day. We just like veg out. And so maybe I'll want more of it tomorrow, which I'm totally cool with. We're still in phase 1. Haven't decided exactly. I think phase 2 is gonna start on Tuesday. So it is like 11:30 on Saturday night. The day was going well. I didn't have like much of an appetite today, really, for some reason. I honestly didn't even really like get into like the treat stash until like super late tonight. The only thing I had all day was like a couple of Oreos here and there. And then yeah, we got into the candy a little bit. Like, started off slow with Chris and I each tried like one of each flavor of these Mike and Ike's that we hadn't tried before. So it was like 10 flavors, so I had 10 pieces, but then he wanted to open the ketchup Lay's that we got, so I got into those really quickly, and then some almond M&Ms. Haven't had them in so long. They were so good, but I don't feel bad about it. This is like one day, one event out of the entire day. Like, it's not, my progress is not like based on that right now. Like, right now I'm just trying to feel like a normal person, eat as much as like a normal person probably would, and not feel controlled by it. And I didn't. I just ate what I wanted to because it tasted really good, and at no point did I feel out of control. So I'm gonna have him hide everything tonight before we go to bed, and we won't touch it again until next weekend, most likely. So yeah, good progress, I guess. Okay, I think making a little bit of progress today. I don't know, I'm like really feeling myself in this outfit today, and I don't know, I don't think I look the best, but I'm just feeling myself. And I think that's why like doing all these things all week for myself really builds up your self-confidence, and not even just like in your appearance, just like in yourself. You carry yourself better, and you don't imagine yourself as like this person that you don't want to put out in the world. So I feel really comfortable today. I don't know, I just feel comfy, and that's what we're going with today. Okay, so that brings us up to this point. Today is Tuesday. It's actually officially the start of the second week and also start of phase 2. If you want to know what I'm doing for phase 2, you're going to have to subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you don't miss that video. I am 3 pounds heavier than last week when I shared a video saying that I gained 20 pounds. Now I've gained 23 pounds. And if the scale that I'm using is right, it says that I am just about 40% body fat. 40% just seems like a little much for me. I feel like around this time is when I'm gonna start putting a lot of stress on my body, and the last thing I want to do is put stress on my body because I have multiple sclerosis, an autoimmune disease, which flare-ups come from being stressed. So we're trying to not do that here. Seeing those numbers on the scale is a horrible feeling for me. Nobody wants to see that. The old me would have given up at this point. I would have seen that number, I would have freaked out and said, nothing works, why am I even doing this if I'm just gaining weight? I would have maybe done something drastic for like 4 hours because I would give up. So I would be like, no, I have to be extremely healthy and I have to cut everything out. Or I would binge because I was like, screw it, let's just have whatever the hell I want now then. But I have been really, really conscious throughout this journey of making it an extremely slow process, which is something I've always been terrified of. I obviously want to lose this weight as quickly as possible, but after 10 years of failed attempts, obviously that didn't work. So I should probably try something different. So we're going slow with this one. Obviously, I wanted things, especially for the first few days. I was like, it was just a habit to want to reach for stuff right after I finished eating, but my mind was like, you don't actually want those things. You're just used to wanting those things. So the first few days were hard, but it definitely got better and got easier. And then I only really had candy this weekend a couple times because I wanted to, and I think that's okay. I've noticed that as I've been releasing these food restrictions, I have been naturally going towards healthier foods anyways because I want to feel good during the day. Doing all of this stuff just naturally builds on itself, and you start to want it more and stop thinking about the other things so much. So I literally didn't tell myself I couldn't have anything this week other than not having certain kinds of junk food at night and trying to replace it with healthier options. So I wasn't really limiting myself. So my brain didn't go crazy and think that I was restricting and just ruin everything for me basically. It has just taken such a big weight off my shoulders and has relieved so much stress, and I just have so much more mental clarity about everything and about this whole process. So seeing the 3 pounds on the scale today, if I hadn't gone through this process, it would be an entirely different situation. But because I have gone through this process, I was able to step back and think, Abby, you're on your period this week. Fluctuations in your weight are normal. Abby, you just started a new workout program this week, and that could be muscle gain. Abby, you are making changes this week for the better, and your body is resisting as it naturally does, and all you have to do is just push past this, keep going, and eventually your body will realize that what you're doing is safe and it's gonna want to do it with you. So from personal experience, I had to remind myself that I've done this before. I lost 15 pounds before, and what happened when I did that was that I made some changes, and the first few weeks nothing happened. I think maybe every other week I saw an inch go down or half an inch go down or something like that, and then all of a sudden I think on the 4th or 5th week I was down and then all of a sudden after a few weeks I was down 5 pounds at a time. And for some reason my body just holds on to it and holds on to it and holds on to it, and then finally it just lets it go. So just because you didn't see the number go down on the scale this week doesn't mean it's not going to go down. And again, it's not the most important part. But with that being said, I do highly recommend taking before pictures, taking your measurements and things like that, because that's where you're gonna see the progress. It's not necessarily gonna be on the scale, at least not right away. That is my honest 1 week update. It's hard sometimes. I will be honest and say that it probably looks a little bit easy for me this time. And that's because I've done this like 100 times. Today officially is the start of phase 2 of my health journey. I'm really happy with where I'm going. I'm feeling confident. I know my body's getting bigger, but I don't really like feel the weight too much. My clothes are feeling a little bit tighter and I don't really like that. But because my mind is so clear, just willing and okay to go through this process, I feel like I'm just seeing myself differently. I know that I'm putting myself first and I'm making changes for the better. And I'm like instilling trust in myself finally. I'm making promises to myself that I'm actually keeping. That is something that I will talk about more in the next video as well. With all that being said, if you like this video and you want to see more from me, definitely make sure you hit the thumbs up button. Comment down below, let me know if you relate to anything, if you're joining me on this health journey, because obviously the whole point here is to make friends and have people that I can talk to and relate to and possibly help. So yeah, that's all I have for today. So thank you so much for watching and I will see you in the next one. Bye!